We are in week 2. This is unit 2 as well. And reading 2. The marketing environment. The external environment contains things and factors that the organization doesn't have control over, right? So it has factors that are beyond our control. العوامل الخارجية is beyond our control. You have, it's like the opportunities and threats. You can take advantage of them, or you could stay away of them if they are negative, but you cannot change them, okay? So the external environment presents both opportunities and challenges that we also call threats. Competition, which is a threat, can come from organizations offering different solutions to the same customer needs, not just organizations. This means you need to consider as competitor not only your direct competitors, but also your indirect competitors. Okay, so if you sell, for example, a movie theater, okay, who are the competitors of a movie theater? Other movie theaters, these are direct competitors. What are indirect competitors for movie theaters? Streaming services like Netflix. Yes. Who are the competitors? Maybe that was by mistake. Okay. So differential advantage. This is how you will differentiate your company. You will have an advantage that is different. You will do something very special and very different from your competitors to attract the customers. So here is the marketing environment. Here in the middle, we have the organization. Okay. On this side, on the first circle that is close to the organization, we have what we call the micro environment. Okay. It consists of the customers, intermediaries, suppliers, competitors, and publics. Now, even further away from the organization, we have the macro environments, okay? And they are the social, technological, economic, environmental, ethical, legal, and political, ethical, and legal considerations. When you analyze the marketing environment, you do marketing research in the external environment. So if you want to do marketing research about your customers to learn about what they like and want, okay, you study the customers. Okay, if you want to make a full industry research, then you have to look at your competitors as well, what they are offering. You have to look at the suppliers. Okay, and الموردين, what they have products to you, and so on. So here we have, as we said, the micro environment is the environment that is closer to the organization. It's composed of customers, intermediaries, suppliers, competitors, and publics. Now, first of all, who are the customers? We have 5 types. They could be consumer markets, just like us, the individual consumers. They could be business markets. If you sell your product to businesses instead of selling to individuals, okay, then you are working in the business markets. You could sell your products to a reseller. You put your product in Danube, for example, who is a reseller who will resell your product. You could sell your product to the government. This is the government market. Or you could take your product international and sell in other countries. in this case, this is the international market. Okay, so selling for people outside your country. Marketing intermediaries, al-wusata. Okay, they are they form a link between the seller and the buyer. Okay, the initial seller. For example, this is a bottle of water. Okay, so this water, can you buy it directly from the manufacturer? No, you cannot. It has to go through certain intermediaries before it could reach you. Okay, actually, I did buy it directly from Montana. They delivered it to my house. Okay, but if many people would buy it from a supermarket, okay, so Montana sells it to the retailer, okay, Panda or Danube or whatever, and then you buy it from them. This is what marketing intermediaries are. They could be wholesalers, اللي بيبيعوا بالجملة, okay, wholesalers, agents, dealers, brokers. All these are marketing intermediaries, وسطاء, okay, between the original company and the customer. Sometimes you have no intermediaries. Sometimes you have 1 or 2 or 3, depending on the model that you work in. Suppliers. Okay, your suppliers are the ones who will provide the raw material for your business. If you have a bakery, you need flour, you need eggs, you need sugar, all the stuff for you to make cakes, right? So they provide the input that you have for your products. Also, suppliers could be, if you have a company that supplies human work, okay, also will be a supplier as a human resource supplier. Competitors. We have direct competitors, just like we said, a movie theater is a competitor for another movie theater. A substitute is a business that satisfies customers' needs through a different or an alternative mean, which is the, for example, Netflix or Shahid or whatever. All of these, they have the streaming videos that you could substitute going to the movies. It serves a similar good. Now, the movies have a special setup and a special seating and whatever, but at the end of the day, we could consider it as a substitute watching the streaming videos. Also, we have the new entrants. So not only the available competitors that you have in the market, but maybe you have new things and new players entering the market that you have to be careful about. Okay, so we are talking about all of these. I want to take you back a little bit because we have to study what's going on around us in a business. Okay, because we want to be innovative, we need to know what's going on and be able to be innovative. Okay, so we are still explaining the micro environment. So what else do we have? We have the publics, as any group that has an actual or potential interest or impact on the organization. The publics are the people, the communities surrounding the business. Okay, not necessarily consumers, but people who are affected by the business. Yani, suppose the business is emitting environmental harm. Okay, the people living next to it are the people being affected by this organization. We call these the publics. Okay, they could complain, they could raise issues, and so on. Okay, also a business could affect the publics positively, not always negatively. Okay, if a business is bringing is bringing jobs to the area, is bringing maybe more money and prosperity to the area, then it will be a good thing. Okay, so it could be either positive or negative. Now we will move to the macro environment. Okay, so we said the social factors, you have to understand social factors that are surrounding your business. How the people living in this market, what's their social life looks like, okay? Their culture, their norms, how they were raised, and so on, okay? So here you have some opportunities for innovation as well. Technological factors. This is the biggest place where you have innovative opportunities, because being up to date to what's going on in terms of technology will help your business be always on new ideas, okay, and be always innovative, because you can use technologies that other companies have created to benefit your business, like a new software, a new way to reach the customer, whatever, okay? We see it all the time. Economic factors. Changes in economic conditions can also stimulate innovation. Okay, so you hear a lot about if the economy is going down, you will start seeing more innovations about products who will save money for the consumers, who will help the consumers through economic downturn. If, on the other hand, everything is good and the economy is booming, you will see more offerings about luxurious products and maybe cars, clothing, whatever is more on the high end and in a booming economy. Okay, so that's the economic factors. Environmental factors as well can present challenges, because depending on where you are operating and the environment around you, environmentally, you have to abide by it. Okay, you have to do the rules and regulations of the country regarding the environment, the public's opinion, what they think is okay or not okay, recycling this bottle. For example, this company, by the way, allows me to recycle. So every time I make a new order, I give them my old bottles, the old ones, the empty ones, and they give me new bottles. So I'm very happy that I'm not throwing this plastic bottle in the garbage, but instead it's going through a recycling process. Okay, so it seems that this company understands that a lot of their consumers like this idea, so they have introduced it to their system. It also benefits them because they take the same bottles and they recycle them and reuse them, which is great. Political factors, of course, the rules and regulations of the government. We always hear, for example, here in Saudi Arabia, we always have new regulations for businesses to abide by in terms of doing business, in terms of employing people, in terms of Saudization. All of these are political factors that we need to be aware of as part of the external environment. Okay, and also, this is also part of the legal factors. So changes in legislation is also part of it. Ethical factors, the consumers are having higher and higher awareness about ethics, about businesses who do things right and businesses who don't do things right? It's funny because the other day, my daughter, who is a big fan of Shein, she keeps on ordering from Shein. She came to me and said, "Mama, I'm not ordering from Shein anymore." And I said, "Why? What happened?" She was looking at all these social media posts where they say Shein is employing kids and Shein is not doing the right thing and so on. So, you know, this is what ethical factor, the ethical factor is. The company itself needs to understand the ethical values of its consumers and behave according to that. Okay, because these are the people that you are attracting. If you can't satisfy your consumers ethically, okay, a lot of them will stop buying from your company. Again, so much room here for innovation and being able to attract your customers because you are doing the right thing. because you are donating money to this whoever, or for example, Tom's, who is donating the pair of shoes, it falls under the ethical factors, of course, okay, and social responsibility. Questions so far? Okay, so the last two slides are about competitive advantage and differential advantage. Now, just like the name implies, the word advantage. So these companies have an advantage. What does advantage mean?
ميزة.
ميزة. Okay, but it's usually, of course, positive. It's a positive advantage. So some companies have an advantage that make them competitive, that makes them even able to compete with other companies more. Okay, for example, if they have a low cost, we call them their competitive advantage is called cost leadership. Okay, the cost leadership, it means that this company is able to produce its products at a low price. Okay, so when you have a cost leadership, not only your production, but also your marketing and your operation and your whole offering will be based on the price. Okay, the greatest example here is IKEA. IKEA has a cost leadership competitive advantage. All the actions and the decisions that are taken by IKEA refer to the concept of reducing the costs. Okay, because they have the flat boxes, they cost them much less in shipping and storing and being able to be transferred or transported by the customer, him or herself. You can take, sometimes you can take a table in your car, right? You can take a desk in your car. If you go to another store, they say, oh, you have to wait the delivery man to come. Okay, so their whole process is based on reducing costs all the time. Okay, you help yourself. You go and grab the product that you want from the shelves, right? And you put on the cart. You go to checkout and you check out the products and you take them home. Of course, the bigger items will be delivered to you, but most of their items could be bought, and this is related to their cost leadership strategy. Another competitive advantage way is to be different, okay? Differentiated. And because you are different, and because you are so special, and because you have special features in your product, you can price it higher than other competitors, right? What about the iPhone? Isn't it priced higher than other competitors? Because it's a differentiation strategy. It's not based on costs. It's based on being different and having special features in the product that make the consumer want to pay more for the product. Okay, the last one is called focus. Okay, a focus is focused on a very small, what we call niche market. A niche market is, for example, if you have a store that sells socks only, you just sell socks, you don't sell anything else. Okay, this is also a competitive advantage because you are a specialist in something that is very specified, okay, or specific. Now, Porter proposed two forms of focus strategy. You can either be focused on cost or focused on differentiation. Even this focus strategy could be either based on cost or could be based on differentiation, which is okay. Okay. Now we have the differential advantage. In competitive advantage, you can see a lot of companies who have competitive advantage in the same market. They are competitors and they have, each one has a competitive advantage over the other. In differential advantage, if a company has a differential advantage, it means that nobody else has this advantage. Okay? It's only provided, whatever it provides, it's provided by only one supplier, which is this organization. You see the difference here? Okay, so it's basically the same thing, but differential advantage is specific to the company and nobody else has it. When Apple first started, they had a differential advantage because they had almost no competitors, right? And then over time, they started having competitors. So now they became a differentiation. Now they became a differentiation competitive advantage. Okay, is it clear? Okay, so this is all for today.